Afternoon, everybody. Today what we're going to be discussing is, were the Soviets atheists? Were the people of the Soviet Union actually atheists? Now, to understand this topic, you need to go back quite a few years. I guess it also starts back when growing up as a child of the Cold War. We were taught primarily that the Russians were atheists, didn't believe in God, and so on and so forth. And you look back to the history of Russia, you'll understand why that could be believed as such. Now, looking back at the history of Russia, you look at the position of the Russian Orthodox Church. Now, this was over 150 years ago, not so much now, how it was viewed. You look at the writings of Karl Marx and the writings of Lenin. The Russian Orthodox Church, for example, was viewed as, how should we say, an extension of the power of the Tsar. That obey, do what the Tsar says, this is what the Lord wants you to do type of thing. It was a little more as, it was viewed as an extension of the Tsar as a means of oppressing the people even further. That's a reason why that Bolshevik doctrine, communist doctrine rather, was so much against religion. It's not so much the denying of a supreme being, but more just the fact that they're pointing out that in their situation, in their ideology, that it was the organized religion itself that played a hand in the oppression of the people, of the proletariat, which is why they thought religion needed to be done away with, largely for that reason alone. It's not so much speaking for or against whether or not there was a belief in God on the matter. It's more the fact that they viewed that the presence of religion at that point was viewed as little more than a means of extending the Tsar's oppression. Because for 300 years, the Russian Orthodox Church pretty much was not so much a means of oppression, but they were a means of helping keep the people in the mindset that they had to just obey and accept their plight, because that's the way the Lord wanted it. That's how they were pretty much taught that. So it's not so much that the Russians or Soviets were atheists, it's just more that based on what they were going through and with changing over from despotism to communism, one of those changes was to remove the position of the church to influence the ruling of the state. That's largely what that was about. Not so much the destruction of religion and disbelief in God, but it was more just removing it from the position of it having any sort of major role in the actual government, how things were run. So, those are a few thoughts on that. There you go.